This is what Generate gave us. It works. Every field is there. And it is horrible to use 13 unlabeled by importance fields in one column, with no sense of what belongs with what. You'd never ship this. Fixing it takes about 40 lines, and by the end of this episode this form will look like a product. But that's the side effect. The real point of this episode is the concept underneath, schemas, because it's the single biggest idea in modern Filament, and once it clicks, forms, infolists, layouts, wizards, and even custom pages all become the same skill. Here's the definition, and then I'll unpack it. A schema is a tree of configuration objects that describes a piece of user interface. That's it. It's not a form. It's not a table. It's a tree. Look at the signature we saw last episode. Same type, both times. A form and an infolist are the same object. A filament /schemas /schema. The only difference is what you put inside it. Put editable fields in, it behaves like a form. Put read-only entries in, it behaves like an infolist. Mix them, and that works too. If you use Filament v3, this is the change that matters most. Their form, Infolist, and the layout system were three parallel APIs with three sets of nearly identical layout classes, and you learned each separately. Now there's one. Learn section once, use it in a form, an infolist, a wizard step, and a custom page. There are 4 families of component you can put in a schema. Fields, from Filament /forms /components. Text input, select toggle. They accept input, and they validate. Episodes 5, 6, and 7. Entries, from Filament /infolists /components. Text entry, icon entry, image entry. They display read-only. Episode 13. Layout components, from Filament /schemas /components. Section, grid, group, field set, tabs, wizard, flex. They hold other components and arrange them. That's today. Prime components, also from Filament /schemas /components. Text, icon, image, unordered list. Static content that isn't tied to any model attribute. A note, a warning, a divider. Handy more often than you'd think. And schemas nest infinitely. A section containing a grid containing a field set containing fields. Whatever your interface needs. Before we build, you need the layout rules, because every layout component shares them, and there are only 3 ideas. Idea 1. Every container has a column count. Call -columns3 on it, and its children lay out across 3 columns. Idea 2. Every child can span multiple columns. -columnspan2 takes up 2 of them. -columnspanfull takes the whole row regardless of the count. That's the one you'll reach for constantly, for text areas and rich editors. Idea 3. It's responsive by breakpoint. Pass an array instead of an integer, and you get Tailwind's breakpoints. 1 column on phones, 2 on tablets for on big screens. And column span takes the same array form. That's the whole system. There's no CSS to write and no grid classes to remember. 2 more you'll meet occasionally. -columnStart2 forces a component to begin at a specific column, useful for deliberately leaving a gap. -columnOrder changes visual order per breakpoint, so a sidebar can sit on the right on desktop and jump to the top on mobile. And one modern option worth knowing about, -grid container. Normally breakpoints respond to the viewport width. With grid container, they respond to the width of the container the component sits in, using CSS container queries. That's the correct behavior for something rendered inside a narrow sidebar or a modal, where the viewport is wide, but the available space isn't. Let's rebuild this properly. First, the imports we'll need. Now the outer structure. I'm giving the whole schema 3 columns, then splitting it into a wide main area and a narrow sidebar. Group is the plainest layout component there is. No heading, no border, no styling. It exists purely to bundle components, so you can apply one column span to the whole bundle. Think of it as a div. 2 of 3 columns for the main area, 1 for the sidebar. That 2/3/1/3 split is the classic admin layout, and now we've got it in 5 lines. Now the first real section, inside the main group. Save. Refresh the edit page. A bordered card with a heading, a gray description line, an icon, and name and slug side by side with the text area beneath spanning both. Look at what each method bought. Section. Make project details. A bordered card with a heading. Dash description, the explanatory line under the heading, and please use these. A form that explains itself gets filled incorrectly. Dash icon, the hero icon enum again. Dash columns 2, name and slug sit side by side. And dash column span full. On the text area overrides that and takes the whole width. Notice the section itself didn't need a column span. It's inside a group that's already spanning 2 of 3 columns. And by default, a layout component fills the width available to it. Sections have more tricks. Let me add the sidebar, and I'll use a couple. Dash collapsible gives it a toggle. Dash collapsed starts it closed. That pairing is how you handle the fields that matter to one user in 20. Present, findable, but not in the way. There's also dash persist collapsed, which remembers each user's choice between visits. Lovely touch on a form people use daily. A few more section methods worth knowing. Dash compact tightens the padding. Dash aside moves the heading and description into a column to the left of the fields, which reads beautifully on settings pages. Dash contained false removes the border if you want the grouping without the card. And dash footer puts components below the content, a good home for a save and continue action. Section will cover most of your needs. Here's the rest quickly, so you recognize them when you need them. Grid. A bare grid with no card, no heading, no padding, when you just want column control. Field set. A labeled box with a border defaulting to 2 columns. It renders as an actual HTML field set with a legend, so it's the more semantically correct choice for a genuine subgroup of related inputs. Flex. Flexbox instead of grid for when you want widths driven by content rather than a fixed column count. Mark the component that should absorb the leftover space with dash grow and use dash from MD to control the breakpoint where it stops stacking. Great for a search input with a button beside it. Tabs. The one you'll want on any form with more than about 20 fields. Tabs can carry icons and badges, and there's dash persist tabbing query string, so a link can deep link to a specific tab and a refresh doesn't dump you back on tab 1. Wizard. A multi-step form with a progress indicator and per-step validation. That's a big enough topic that it gets its own slot in episode 7. And the prime components, the static ones. Text, icon, image unordered list. Not bound to any attribute, just content. Use them for inline guidance right where the risky field is, instead of a paragraph at the top that nobody reads. There's also a callout component if you want that guidance in a colored box. Same fields, same validation, same save behavior, completely different product. And it's responsive for free. I didn't write a media query. The grid system handled it. 2 habits I'd like you to take from this episode. First, group by decision, not by database table. Our sidebar has ownership and status as separate cards, not because they're different tables, they're all columns on projects, but because deciding who owns a project and deciding what state it's in are different mental acts. Lay forms out the way people think, not the way you stored it. Second, use description everywhere. A one-line explanation under a section heading is the cheapest documentation you will ever write, and it lives exactly where the confusion happens. Recap. A schema is a tree of configuration objects. Forms and infolists are both schemas, same class, different components inside. There are 4 component families: fields, entries, layouts, and primes. Layout is a grid, columns, on the container, column span, on the child, arrays for breakpoints. And you now know group, section, grid, field set, flex, and tabs. Next episode, we zoom all the way in, from the container to the field. Every input Filament ships, how validation actually works, how to make a select show enum labels with colors, and the small methods. Helper text, prefix, hint, placeholder, that turn a form people tolerate into a form people find easy. See you there.